At the end of the day, I'm doing what feels right for me and chasing down my dream.
So I could start this review in a lot of different places, but I want to back things up right to the very beginning. Coming together with Coho and Patrick Waugh in 93, 94, when they turned into Reebok in 2005, 2006, and then CCM in 2012. Since then, they have created some of the most cutting-edge equipment on the market. CCM is gone now. They're no longer in the picture, and it's just Lefevre. It's a mom-and-pop, family-run business, 10 to 15 employees, super small factory, pumping up the stuff. I was offered to come do a tour at the Lefevre factory in February, and if I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't think I was going to like the Lefevre 20.1 stuff. I thought, I'm probably going to end up sticking in Warrior. I've really enjoyed Warrior stuff. Warrior hasn't given me anything for free. Matter of fact, they make it a point to not give me anything for free, which is fine. I was convinced I was going to be going to Warrior. But when I came into this factory, I saw what Patrick Lefevre was doing. I saw what Stefan Trottier was doing. I saw what everybody was doing in there, and it's a family-run business now. There's no corporation. Everybody's passionate. Everybody cares. When I put my hand in the glove, when I put my hand in the blocker for the first time, when I tried the pads on it, I looked at everything. This light bulb went off in my head of, it's not about having this fancy new materials that you sourced out in China and have a big marketing campaign about. It's about stopping pucks. I fell in love before I'd even worn the gear on ice, and I said to myself, I need to get a set. Maybe this is the real deal, maybe it's not. The pad is crazy light. Like, my set itself is 4.7 pounds, and I'm wearing a 34 plus 2. I'm 6'5", using a 34 plus 2 pad. I haven't been used a 34 pad since I was like 13 years old, but I'm catching pucks like I never have before. A lot of the credit goes to the 580. I'm making blocker saves with precision. I'm puck handling great. Just everything all around. The best way that I would describe the Lefevre 20.1 set is it's simple innovations done with efficiency and done well. There's no groundbreaking new technologies, new groundbreaking materials. It's just simple little innovations that add up to a big chain, and I feel it in my game. There's no doubt about it. I think everybody's obsessed with the pads, so let's start off by talking about that right off the bat. It looks like a CCM Reebok pad that you've seen over the last little bit. There's a lot of differences on the internals of it. Weight-wise, Warrior G4s were, I believe, 4.5 pounds. Lefevre 20.1's, my set of 34 plus 2, 4.7 pounds. So we're talking crazy light, some of the lightest equipment on the market. Next up is the fast rotation system, and this is one thing I'm very conflicted about, because a lot of guys in the National Hockey League are talking about how the fast rotation system is changing their game and allowing them to move like they never have before, and I found that as well. I found I'm moving on the ice better, I'm moving on my feet better than I ever have before, because this fast rotation system, it kills all of the stress on my hips, knees, and ankles. I don't know how it does it. I'm still confused how it works. I feel so loose. I feel like I'm leaning forward in my saves. I feel control, which is what I ultimately want. I think everybody wants that control. The one thing that seriously I'm having a very hard time grasping is the under rotation of the pad. Now, I've tried strapping the pad extremely tight, extremely loose. I find that when I'm making lateral plays closer towards the post, I'm trying to lean forward and come on over top of pucks. When I do that, the pad goes from sitting like this to plopping over like this, and I don't know why. I'm seriously confused why it does that.
Hey, future Trav here. I just want to let you know, I fixed that over-rotating problem. The pro laces were tied on the outside, caused a lot of over-rotating. I dropped them down. Now they're down closer to the ice. The over-rotation problem is stopped. So any complaining I do about the over-rotation at this point in time, ignore it.
Now the rebounds come off hot, there's no doubt about it. We're not talking a Bauer Vapor or an ultrasonic hot where you're shooting pucks down the opposite end for an icing call. If a guy's shooting off the pads, these will go right to the boards, no problem. Maybe even the blue line. You're not gonna have to worry about guys banging home loose change 5-6 feet away from you, because these things come off quite hot. The on-ice seal is great. A lot of people I've been seeing commenting are talking about there's a little gap right between where the boot and the actual pad meet. People were asking me, are you concerned about that, for the lost coverage and the fact that a puck could squeak through? It's not big enough of a gap for the puck to squeak through. It's helping me lean forward, which, like I said, I'm a fan of. I'm not worried about it. This may be something that I'm going to have to address moving forward as the pad starts to wear down. I'm not sure. I haven't been using it long enough to really see any durability issues, but I'm not really worried about that ice seal. How soft is the boot? How hard is it? The only time a boot's really going to come into play is in your RVH incorporation. So if you have a very stiff boot, you're going to come into the post. There's going to be no give when you come around that post. If you have a soft boot, it's going to kind of flex in a little bit, so that way you have a little bit more wiggle room and you're not stressing on the ankles as much. So far, I haven't had a lot of issues with that. I got super tight hips, super tight knees, super tight ankles. It's not crazy stiff, but it's also not crazy soft. I would say it's somewhere in between. A lot of people have asked, what are the 20.1s? Are they a Premier? Are they an E-Flex? Well, they're supposed to be somewhere in between. So Lefevre has the 4.1, which is the Premier 2. They have the 12.1, which is the E-Flex 4. Identical pad, new graphic. You come in between, you have the L20.1. It's not crazy hard like a Premier. It's not crazy soft like an E-Flex. It's somewhere in between. If you look at all the NHL goalies, we're talking Carey Price, Carter Hart, Marc-Andre Fleury, Malcolm Subban, Corey Croft. There's so many guys that have been switching to Lefevre in the last little bit. This is the L20.1 blocker. I will say the rebounds do come off extremely hot off the board, but not quite as hot as a Bauer Vapor. I think Bauer makes the best in-class blocker in regards to pop, which I don't think anybody will be coming close to in the next couple of years. But what I will say, the mobility in this wrist, and you can be the judge for yourself. Look at this thing. Look at how wide open this thing. So you can do anything you want with how mobile this wrist cuff is. And I will say that's contributing a lot to helping my block or rebound control. And puck handling is a dream. An absolute goaltender's dream doing it in this palm. This is the best palm on the market in my opinion. The Sure Grip materials here are great. They feel fantastic. Good grip on the stick. The foam piece here to help reduce vibrations. I can personally live without it. I'm fine with a couple more vibrations because I want to feel the stick more and get better grip on the stick. This is, in my opinion, the best blocker palm materials on the market. You can't touch that. As far as wear and tear goes of it, I'm kind of worried. I used to have issues with the Sure Grip on my Reebok CCM equipment that I had previously in the past, but this is Lefevre. This is a totally different ball game. I haven't had any issues so far in the 3 months that I've had it. You can be the judge for yourself. Not a lot of issues on any of the digits. Another thing we're talking about is this blocker sidewall is rock hard. This thing doesn't move, and anytime I got a puck coming in, it's hit me on the sidewall. It doesn't move. It's rock hard. It's great. Keep in mind, I use a block on my stick, so I don't have to worry about it as much. But the figure protection, when it is hitting here and here, fantastic. Bauer has the best in class when it comes to rebound control. Keep in mind, I really hate Bauer. This is the top blocker on the market right now. You want this blocker, I guarantee you ain't gonna be disappointed. Glove-wise, seen a lot of questions about it. The L20.1 glove is still very similar to a Primer 2, E-Flex. There's no real big difference between the 4.1, 12.1, and 20.1. But I will say, I got the 580. This has been absolutely game-changing as far as my glove hand goes. In the past, I'm having a lot of pop-outs, I'm having a lot of pucks coming off the cuff, they go in the pocket, they come out. I'm not a great catching goaltender. I'm gonna be honest with you, my glove hand isn't as great as I would like it to be. But when Lefevre crafted the 580 and 93 for Patrick Waugh,
from 6 at night till 6 the next morning, taking apart his coho pads. Patrick put the pads on him, you look down at him, I feel light. Because I'm gonna win the cup with these things. He went on and won the cup in 93 with me.
Really? They designed it with the purpose of catching pucks up by the ears, slight problem I have, and catching pucks down low. Anything going low, when I'm getting down low on those ones going right above the pad, and when I'm getting up high by the ears, 580, it almost catches pucks for me. And I know that sounds kind of dumb. Glove does the work for me. I don't have to do the work. I'm gonna touch on this a lot more in the 580 versus 590 versus 600 video, which will come up after this video. But the way pucks go into this pocket, they go in and die. And for those reasons, this is a comfortable glove, pucks catch. The single tee is great. I love single tees. I would love to see a Brian's anchor tee style skinny tee. I even pitched to Lefevre, could we do a double tee, cut off the one prong, and that could be my tee? They didn't want to do that, but this here specifically is the best piece of equipment I've ever owned. I'm in love with this glove. Back finger protection is great too. I'm not feeling anything. I would love to see a reinforced T-bar, because this T-bar, I'm gonna be honest, you can probably see right here, it's really, really soft. I've only had it for 3 months. And they're clamping down like that. It's my own fault for not asking to get the T reinforced. To see a stock option with the T reinforced, or naturally it comes stiffer, would be great. So everything's catching like this. To date, 3 months later, I haven't had a single stinger. One thing worth mentioning as far as durability in the glove goes, hopefully you can see this right here. The Lefevre logo and a little bit of the palm are starting to break. I do puck handling sessions usually once a week of just straight working on passes and shooting every single week. I'm an active puck handling goaltender. That's probably why, because I have the stick in there so much and I grip it really tight and I work on it a lot. You could say it's my own fault, but it would be nice if this didn't wear, because on all my Reebok CCM gloves in the past, I found that was a huge wear point. As far as puck handling goes, again, I'm gonna touch on more on this in the 580 versus 590 versus 600 video. This thing is a dream to puck hand with. I'm gonna say coming from a 600 style 75-degree catch glove in Warrior, in Vaughn, etc., etc. This was a big change. This is a really big change as far as the way you properly hold the stick to be able to puck handle, because the way the glove closes, you have to put the stick in at a different angle and grip it differently. But once I got the hang of it, I'm puck handling like I never have before. Like I'm making passes on the tape every time. I'm saucing like a champ. I feel great every single time I go to play the puck. The exception of throwing a lasagna at the middle like that. How do you open a glove and close a glove like this? Like how do you get it to break in? It came like this day one, right? I'll be honest, it may have been like a teeny weeny bit tighter just because the leathers weren't broken in, they weren't used, but just using it. Get on the couch, work the glove, take it to lunch, take it to work, take it to wherever, work that thing in, and your glove's gonna get worked in. But this thing, it literally closes like a champ. I love this glove. I'm absolutely in love with everything about this glove. Let's talk about some pros and cons here. Pros and cons of the pad. First pro, the pad looks great. It visually looks very appealing and it looks big to the eyes, which I really like. Number two, it's a very stiff pad. Not extremely stiff pad like a Primer 2, Bauer Ultrasonic, but it is a stiffer pad, which I really like. And because of that, the rebounds come off extremely hot. I would love to see that moving forward in the 20.2s. Next up is the weight. In my personal set of 34 plus 2, L20.1s came at 4.7 pounds. Crazy lightweight. It's cutting edge for the industry and for the whole goaltending world. I would love to see them build on that, the 20.2. 20.2s, shave down even a little bit more weight, maybe get it down to 4.5, maybe even 4 pounds even, maybe even get a 3.99 pounds. Really make a big statement. The Fast Glide sliding system, I wouldn't say it makes a huge difference as far as my sliding goes. It is noticeable, fresh ice, I move around the crease really fast, I'm not having a lot of friction. And the last thing is the fast rotation system. This thing has so many positives. I'm leaning forward on saves, I'm coming forward on pucks. All the stress on my hips, knees, and joints is gone because of this. I don't know how it works. I'm gonna say this fast rotation system is probably the #1 biggest innovation, not only in the pad, but the whole line, and probably the entire goaltending market this calendar year. Patrick Lefevre, you've done a fantastic job with the fast rotation system. Keep it going moving forward. It's been great for my game, and I thank you for it. Like any product in the market, the 20.1 does have many cons, specifically with the pads. The biggest one is going to be the under rotation, with the pad kind of popping forward, kind of falling flat in the face of it. I want to see that addressed. Maybe there's a way to strap it up that I'm not aware of. I've tried a bunch of different options, but I'd love to see that under rotation fixed completely. Next thing is the toe bridge. I'm not a big fan of this toe bridge because there's only options to have the toe bridge closer to the outside of the pad. I also don't like the fact that the only bungee option you have here is Pro Laces Hybrid. There's nothing wrong with that. I like Pro Laces Hybrid. I've loved Pro Laces for years. I've been using them for years. If you want to pick up a set, you can get a set for promo code TRAPSUCKS. $5 off, link in the description. But one thing worth mentioning is that you don't have the bungee option, you don't have the armor option, you just have the hybrid option. You only have one option for the toe laces. I personally love the bungee option. Great to see that moving forward. Also building off that, I don't like the screws in the toe bridge. I'd personally like to see some lacing or something different. I hate screws in toe bridges. They're so f***ing annoying. Excuse my language. Last but not least, the graphic. This graphic is atrocious. I've actually talked to the guy who came up with the graphic. This graphic sucks. I would say the graphic that I got for my set, I personally think is the best looking graphic that I could come up with for the set, considering what I had to work with. But we need to have like a solid colored gusset, solid color outer roll, a couple more physical options, as well as a better all-around graphic. Just a simpler graphic. There's so much going on in this pad. I think they just gotta dumb it down a little bit. A couple physical elements will be good. Top to bottom, this is a great pad. It's been game changing for my game. I love these pads. Next up, pros and cons of the blocker. #1 pro, Sure Grip Materials. This Paul Materials, first in class, best in the market. I love it. I would like to see this little piece taken off to reduce vibrations so I get better feel in the stick, better grip, and really feel kind of become one with the stick. Fantastic blocker, Paul. If you can show me one person who truly believes that this blocker wrist mobility isn't good enough and can be better, I'll show you a liar. The thing's extremely balanced. It feels great in the hands. Anytime I'm making a blocker save, I got a pretty good idea where I know where it's going. Blocker board's thinner in years past, which is a big plus. CCM Reebok blocker's always been very girthy, kind of like the cuff in the Premier gloves, but this is a good step moving forward. Last couple things, the finger protection here is great, as I mentioned. Even though I use a block on my stick, I'm still having no issues at all here. Finger protection is great. Sidewall is absolutely rock solid. Like I said, anything comes off here, or even once do come off a little bit hot off the sidewall, could potentially be an issue one day. I haven't had an issue with it yet. I will say though, like the glove, like the pads, big issue with the 20.1 line, graphic sucks. I think this is the best graphic I could have came up with considering, but the graphic still sucks. So, glove, pros and cons. Some of the best things about it, catch is great. It puck handles great. The feel is second to none. I'm catching the tricky ones up by the ears. I'm catching the tricky ones down low. It's fantastic. There's also no stingers at all, and the closure is absolutely second to none. I've never had a glove that closes and opens so comfortably like this glove. I would say physically the glove looks good. I physically like the look and the makeup of the glove. And last but not least, it's extremely well balanced. It feels very good in the hands. Cons of the glove. There's actually a lot of cons, very small ones, but these are the issues I've had with the glove so far. The cuff, if you can see right here, this thing is like super thick, and it's probably the same thickness they had when it was like a Reebok Premier 3. They could shade down the cuff, make it a little bit thinner, save a lot of weight, and add a lot more wrist mobility, I think, because you don't have that big girthy cuff getting in the way. I would also love to see the T-bar reinforced. Like I said, T-bar is a little soft, catching a lot of pucks like that. If it's reinforced, that's not gonna be a problem. Would also love to see the T thinner. This is a huge single T for 2020. So if they could cut the size down in half, or give like a Brian's anchor T style, like I suggested as well, the double T, take the one prong off, that could be a new option. I love a lot of netting, a lot of lacing in the pocket. I'd just love to see that for the next 20.2. Another thing, I ordered skate laces in the pocket. I personally like a soft skate lace pocket, really soft feel, it deadens the puck. Some people like Jamie Phillips will say it makes no difference. That's my personal preference. It's a very stiff skate lace pocket. It's wax lacing in the pocket. Not a big fan of the wax stiff lacing, but if they had a soft skate lace option, that'd be great for the 20.2. One thing I would say though, it would be nice if they stitched the logo. If they stitched the logo in here, this wouldn't become a problem at all. So love to see a stitched logo instead of a screen print. That could be a big reason why there's durability issues right there. Final two things, I would love to see a +1 pocket. They don't have a +1 option on the website, but having a little bit of extra depth, always nice, kind of helps see the puck. That's my personal 2 cents. Last thing I would love to see is a better graphic. Let's be honest, I personally like the backhand of the graphic. I think this looks great. The way they have the color zones, it's segmented. It looks almost similar to a Vaughn CCM hybrid. This graphic, and this is the problem with the blocker pad 2, the graphic sucks. The graphic's brutal. I thought this was the best looking graphic I could come up with as far as my custom set goes. I think it looks terrible, and I would love to see a better graphic with a couple more options in the 20.2s. All right, Let's conclude this. When you put the glove on, you put the blocker on, you put the pads on, this is a product that was made by hand, it was made with care, it was made by passion, it's made by somebody who actually gives a damn about their job. And I'm telling you, this is why everybody's leaving CCM. CCM is going to be bankrupt and out of the goaltending market in 3 to 5 years because they're making a horse product made in China, made by people who don't care about their gig. That alone, supporting the Canadian economy and a product that's made with passion is enough for me to hop on board.
Nothing ever leaves this factory without it being 100%. Everything is handcrafted, made by hand. It's not going to leave here unless it's 100% perfect.
That's something I don't think every company can honestly say that they do. This is something that what separates Lefevre apart. If it's not 100%, it ain't going out the door. It's as simple as that. And that's standard. That passion for equipment is what's going to separate them and have them take over the goaltending industry. What am I talking about? They're already taking over the industry. It's exploding with Lefevre. Everybody has Lefevre right now.
The first viewing of the Lefevre stuff passed the eyeball test, 100%.
Lefevre's not going to mess up a 5.8.
Doesn't feel like stiff, nice and smooth, very fluid.
I'm a fan and I'm jealous.
That's looking bad.
So the verdict is?
Great pad.
I'll let you be the judge for yourself for the footage that's been in this video and any of the videos that I've posted over the last little while, but this has been game changing in my game. I wish I would have switched sooner. I wish this was an option earlier in my career and I could have experienced what a truly great Canadian made pro level, NHL level product would be. You can get that at retail now. You can be Joe Schmo who just picked up goaltending last week. You're getting the same NHL style quality product top to bottom. But if you're gonna be ignorant to the fact that Lefevre is making a cutting edge product that's taking over the goaltending world, you're an absolute moron. Outside of the screen printed logos, I'm convinced this skier is built to last. I would like to see all the logos be stitched on, so that's not an issue. Plastics aren't breaking the palm of the glove. Blocker's not breaking down. The pads aren't going soft. I think this stuff's built to last, and there's no doubt in my mind I can survive a full year with this equipment. If you want to see more videos like this, I got lots of reviews, and I'll be documenting a lot of the stuff from my upcoming season of pro hockey in Sweden this year. I highly recommend you hit that subscribe button. I do new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and sometimes Sunday, depending on what I got going on in the week. And I'll see you in the next video.